ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् तपोभिक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते. In the last class, we saw verses 23, 24, and 25. Especially the 24th, which we elaborated, made it clear to us that what we mean by ātmā, the pure self, our true nature, what we really are, and so on, is characterized by Sat, pure existence. What do we mean by pure existence? Existence not as man or tree, table or chair, but pure existence without a name or form about it. Our true nature is Chit, which is to begin with translated as consciousness or knowledge, but again, not knowledge of something, not consciousness of somebody, but consciousness per se, pure awareness by itself. That is Chit. And one more was mentioned, Swabhavaha Satchidananda Nitya Nirmalata Atmanaha. The third pointer to what this Atma is Ananda, pure bliss. Interestingly again, pure bliss here is not out of getting something, not upon fulfilling a desire, but bliss with no cause, with no reason, with no source other than oneself. We are of the nature of bliss. In addition, it was said Nitya Nirmalata. It's eternal, that is timeless, and Nirmalata is extremely pure. For the Sat, Chit, Ananda, Nitya, and Nirmalata, for all these five, three analogies were given. For all these five, on one hand, when we say these are the true nature of the Atma, it is for simple explanation. Just as the nature of the sun in the sky, nature of the sun is to give light. The nature of water is coolness. And the nature of fire is heat. Fire has heat, that's its nature. Water has coolness, its nature. The sun has light, its nature. Like that, if you and I meditate upon this revelation of the Upanishads, that my nature is pure existence, my nature is pure awareness, my nature is uncaused bliss. I don't need this or that for my happiness. I am myself of the nature of happiness. In this way, if we contemplate, the wonder of wonders happens. Our attachment, our identification with the personality, our wanting this or wanting that, and our crying over what we did not become, what we wanted to become, the opportunities we lost in life, how we were so foolish. If I was a bit careful, I would have been very, very rich. If I was a bit more wise or clever, I would have become the Prime Minister of United Kingdom instead of Rishi Sunak. I mean, he has now stepped down or is stepping down. But without thinking about the impermanence of all those, we have desires. How I wish I was the PM of UK for a couple of years. How come Rishi Sunak had it and now he is letting it go? He has to. Crazy mind. To be free of this crazy mind and its crazy thoughts, no other treatment, no other medicine than constant contemplation upon the true nature of our existence as revealed by the Upanishads, which is again expressed here in the Ātmā Bodha. Ātmanaha Satchidam Shascha, 25th shloka said, this pure I, not I as somebody so and so or such and such, but the pure I, the real I in us. It has Sat, it has Chit. And Ātmanaha Satchid Amshascha, Buddher Vrittiriti Dvayam. The Buddhi, intellect, mind stuff, has thought forms. The thought forms of the mind stuff or the Buddhi or the intellect, those thought forms themselves cannot have any knowledge. And pure existence and consciousness, being infinite, don't care for any knowledge. Though all knowledge is made possible by them or by the Satchit, knowledge of any subject, of any object, any person, any place or anything is made possible by coming together of the pure consciousness and existence of the ātmā and the thought form of the buddhi, intellect. You may wonder, those of you who are new to this word vritti, what does vritti have to do with knowledge? There is a theory of knowledge in the Vedanta. Suppose I know a pot. I open my eyes and see a pot made of clay. The theory of knowledge says, when I see the pot, the form of the pot enters my mind, and the mind stuff assumes that form, that figure, that shape of the pot. So thought assuming that shape is chitta vritti, buddhi vritti, mano vritti, call it chitta or buddha, buddhi or antakarana or manaha. In this context, they are all synonyms. Then even if I close my eyes, the pot is in my mind. I took a look at the pot and closed my eyes and I turned totally in a different direction. I may keep my eyes closed or I may open my eyes, but in my mind there is that form of the pot. Now it is a thought form which represents the actual physical pot that I saw. And then somebody says, did you see a pot over there? I look at him, I look into his eyes and say, yeah, it was quite a big one, little reddish in color and perfect sphere. And it was put upside down. I don't know why they put it upside down. But yeah, there was a pot. So I express my knowledge of the pot because in my mind, thought has taken the form of a pot. Thought taking the form is by itself inert, but it is illumined by the pure consciousness that I am. And consciousness itself is existence too. Ātmanaha Satchidam Shascha, Buddhehe vrittihi iti dvayam. Dvayam means two. Sanyojya. When both of them come together, cha, cha means and, avivekena. You and I lose discrimination. We are unable to distinguish between the source of knowledge and this thought form, which is a secondary matter. In olden days, electric bulbs had a filament called tungsten. Now all kinds of new bulbs have come. In spite of my background in electrical engineering, I have no idea how CFL works and how um, this LCD, LED lamp works. God knows. I have not found time to study it up. If I study it up, it should not be difficult for me. In good old days, we had studied how exactly the what we call the tube light, fluorescent lamp works, what happens inside, what's the function of choke, what's the function of a starter, what's the function of that tube, whether there is gas inside, vacuum inside, Rama Rama. All that we have studied, passed exams, and then celebrated. Oh, done, done with it. So let me give the example of tungsten filament electric lamp. I believe Thomas Edison, when he first found out the electric lamp, he didn't have tungsten. It was some kind of thread or so. And he made some electricity pass through some kind of thread, not ordinary thread, some material. And that got heated up and that emitted light. So early electric lamps had some substance. But mind you, coming to Vedanta now, that thread or that tungsten filament by itself cannot give even an iota of light. Electricity has to flow through it. But electricity flows through regular wire also before coming to the bulb. Those regular wire doesn't emit light. So it's an interesting combination that a certain material, whether it's some sort of a thread Edison had used, and later on very popular tungsten filament, and now so many other forms of medium where light is emitted. On one hand, you need that. On the other, electricity. Of course, electricity is the major part. Otherwise, bring silver or gold or copper or anything. No electricity flows. How will there be? Likewise, Satchidamsha, my being existence awareness is primary. And you and I, out of our indiscrimination, foolishness, our tendency to mix up things, we worship the body. I must look young and handsome, and I must have the energy of a 25-year-old young fellow, man or woman. I must be able to eat, drink, make merry, digest very well, and oh, so body conscious. Therefore, Ramana Maharshi said, to think I am the body right away makes you a sinner. You are a sinner the moment you identify with the body. Because when you identify with the body, then a whole lot of troubles begin there. Whereas he said, to think I am pure existence awareness is the greatest virtue. To get punya, you don't have to go to Kashi, Varanasi and jump into Ganga river. People go take a dip in holy river Ganga. We got lot of religious merit. Vedanta says, take a dip in the understanding you are the pure self. You become a punyatma right away. Instead, if you say, I am this body, and before this body gets old, I must enjoy as much as possible. I must see maximum movies, including horror movies. I must eat maximum ice cream. Near my house, there is an ice cream shop, Polar Bear. I have to go there tonight itself. It's 24 hours open. I go midnight and enjoy ice cream. Crazy. Identify with body. And then I want to place ice cream from polar bear. That's one chain, I suppose, to the mouth, and so on. Body identification. Thinking that the tungsten filament has light. It's the electricity which expresses itself through the tungsten element. So the truth and all these verses I tell you have the suggestion of wonderful spiritual practice. Take 2 minutes break here, take a 2 minutes break there. Take a deep breath. I am the pure self. I am not this body. I am not this thought form. Buddhehe vrittihi aham na asmi. Aham asmi satchit. Sadasmi chidasmi anandosmi. This is the Vedanta meditation. But in aviveka, indiscrimination, lack of discrimination, that's why the book was written, Viveka Chudaman. All Vedanta is meant to awaken in you clear discrimination between what you are not, rejected, and what you are, own it. Today we enter 26. Ātmano vikriya nasti buddher bodho na jakriti jeeva sarvamalam natva karta drashteti muhyati. Interestingly, one more distinction is ātmā, the pure self, which you and I are, just has no modification. It has just no change whatsoever in it. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has a much quoted mantra, which in English means it doesn't grow, it doesn't become less. It doesn't increase in length or breadth or size or weight or mass or other qualities. It doesn't decrease, doesn't increase, doesn't decrease, doesn't die, is not born. That's it. That is free of all vikaras, vikriya. Okay, then what are you trying to say? And buddhehe na jatu bodha. This intellect or the mind or the antakarana, whatever you call inner equipment or call it brain, whatever, that actually cannot know at all. Bodha tasya antakaranasya, bodha tasyaha buddhehe, bodha tasya manasaha, tasya chittasya, bodha jnanam na bhavati. But buddhi has all vikaras. As I explained before, while seeing the pot, the manaha or antakarana or buddhi takes the form of the pot. I close my eyes, I walk a few meters away, and there I see a plant. A plant. I close my eyes, the buddhi took the form of the plant. I move further, I see a young man jogging, morning jogging. I close my eyes, though I turn my face in another direction, in my mind that young man jogging away comes. So this is all vikara. Buddhi has vikara, but no capacity to know. Ātmā has all the capacity to know, but it doesn't have any vikara, taking this shape, taking that shape, etc. However, in a mysterious way, and Vedanta is all about destroying that mystery, decoding that mystery, sending that mystery away, packing it up. But there is a mystery in the error zone. You and I are living in erroneous perception, asamyak darshana. And in that erroneous perception, along with that erroneous perception, don't even say here is erroneous perception, after 2 seconds, jeeva is born. Nor should you say Jiva is born and after 2 seconds it has an erroneous perception. They are not sequential. They are simultaneous. Where there is error, there is Jiva. Where there is Jiva, there is error. It's very important. It's a crucial point to understand. Where there is error, there is Jiva, individual self. Where there is individual self, there is error. Together they are born, and in the Vedantic insight, together they vanish. Don't ask where they vanish. They just vanish. Jivaha sarvam alam jnatva. Alam jnatva here means, alam literally elsewhere means enough. But here in the certain idiomatic expression, not knowing. This individual self, not knowing its own truth and not knowing the sad limitations of the intellect, alas, janami iti pravartate. Earlier it was said, here it is said, karta drashta iti muhyati. Karta, I am the doer. Therefore, when we do something good, we feel proud. When we fail to do something, we feel ashamed. Oh, I had a chance to do, but I did not. That was a lapse on my part. Drashta, that is karta and drashta. I saw a movie yesterday. Last week we went to see the cricket match, etc. Seeing, hearing, touching, feelings, all that we think I am doing. Actually, I am not doing anything. As some of you know, in Bhagavad Gita, in the chapter 5, there is a string of 2 verses which gives a list of activities and says the wise one knows clearly that she is not doing any of these. Naiva kurvan nakarayan, that's another shloka. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavit pashyan shandvan sprashan jigran ashnan gachan. Long list. Pralapan visrajan unmishan nimishan napi indriyani indriyartheshu vartante iti dharayan. If you are not seeing who under the sun is seeing, the eyes are seeing. If you are not hearing who is hearing, the ears are hearing. If you are not thinking or feeling who is thinking, who is feeling, it is the mind which is thinking, intellect which is feeling, or the other way around. Then what are you doing? Naiva kinchit karon yuktaha manyeta. A truly wise person who does not just have bookish knowledge of Vedanta, but who lives Vedanta, who is established in Vedantic outlook. When many speakers only have Vedanta knowledge when they speak. Afterwards, they completely forget all that they spoke in the Vedanta or during the lecture. They are worried about that institution said they will send me an award and a certificate of merit and some kind of something praising me, but nothing has come. I am deceived. I gave 7 lectures there and they didn't send a letter of appreciation. So if that is how the Vedanti thinks, then what Vedanta does he know? It is said here, karta drashta iti jeevaha muhyati. Ātmagnaha, a knower of the pure self, moham na gacchati, does not get deluded. Things come and go. The body gets sick, body gets old, the body may die. But if you are established in right seeing, you will not be crying inside you. Outside the body has its own dynamics. Some tears may come in the eyes and people may misunderstand that this Vedanta student was crying while dying. Let them misunderstand you. Even when there are tears for whatever reason, you are not identified with the body, the eyes that are giving out tears, or the mind also may go into some mood, some state. You just are not that. You smile away. But others don't see your smile. You smile without being noticed. Karta drashteti muhyati. So Vedanta, please note, repeatedly says to us, Vedanta simplified is nothing but this. You are seeing what there is not. There is no snake, but you are seeing a snake. There is no silver, but you are seeing silver, where actually there is some seashell which shines like silver. There is no ghost, where actually there is only a post. Ghost on the post. Post means a kind of a pole. The pole is standing vertically. You see it and oh my God, there is a ghost. I was told that this village has some ghosts even these days. The ghosts have vanished everywhere else, but this village where nobody has a mobile, which is impossible these days, but in a manner of saying, this village where there is no one possesses a mobile has a lot of ghosts. And you enter that village for some work. You see a post, but you see a ghost upon the post. So the next verse says, Rajju sarpavadatmanam jivo jnatva bhayam vahe naham jiva paratma iti jnataschet nirbhayo bhavet. Beautifully, the shloka touches upon one of the major problems you and I have in human life, and that is fear. Everybody has some fear. Bhoge roga bhayam, kule chuti bhayam, vitte nripalad bhayam. Bhartrahari wrote, somebody is enjoying, but a thought comes to him. I'm enjoying all these sweets and delicious food, but doctors have told me don't eat this now. Doctor is away. I am enjoying it, but I will have disease. Somebody is proud of his family, but is afraid. I am from such a big family, and even if a little bit these paparazzi, these photographers, journalists, they shoot a couple of photographs of mine, maybe drinking wine at a bar or gambling in a casino in Las Vegas. I go there thinking nobody is watching, but these paparazzi catch a picture. And because I come from the royal family of Rome or London or wherever, it will be put next day in newspapers. People from well-known families always fear that something negative will be recorded of them. That way they wish they were from ordinary family. Those who are from ordinary family many times wish they were from royal family, some very rich family. They wish that they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, all that wishes. But those who are into very well-known families often wish that they were from humble, unknown families. Then go to Las Vegas, the sin city as it is called, and gamble and lose and win and fight and drink and fall down, drop on the floor. Somebody lifts you up and somehow takes you to your hotel room. Nothing is reported next day. At the most, they will say, last night also many people dropped after drinking too much and they were left to their hotel rooms. No name is given. How nice. Bhartrahari says, Kule Chutibhayam, Vitte Nripalad Bhayam. Those who have money are worried about new taxes and so on. Everywhere. Scholars are afraid of some scholar who knows more than them and suddenly picks an argument with them and in front of all defeats these people. And they are afraid. Hope nobody who knows more than me appears here. I am the most knowledgeable person they want. Finally, Bhartrahari says in that shloka from his composition where he wrote 100 verses on dispassion, detachment, vairagya shatakam. Much before Gavaskar, Tendulkar, Dhoni and Kohli, etc. hit their centuries, Bhartrhari had hit 3 centuries through poetry, not in cricket. Vairagya Shatakam, Shringara Shatakam, Niti Shatakam, and Shankaracharya hit 2 centuries. Shivananda Lahari, 100 verses, Saundarya Lahari, another 100 verses. So there are compositions in Sanskrit where the number of verses is 100. And in that the shloka, Sarvam Vastu Bhayanvitam Bhuvi Nrinam Vairagyameva Bhayam. For heaven's sake, if you and I develop tremendous detachment, pleasure, power, position, all kinds of temporary rides, to ride over pleasure for a while and then suffer, then regret. Or if you are very foolish, you won't regret also. And then one day life will knock you. Life will hit you hard, then you will begin. Otherwise, the argument generally is, I know somebody who is all the time enjoying drinking alcohol, smoking away this and that. And he doesn't have any regret. In fact, every morning he begins again all that merrymaking. Wait and see. Eventually, he will see that he lived a very foolish life. Those objects of pleasure do not give happiness for all time. A day will come when he becomes sick of whatever used to give him pleasure. Anyway, detachment. So much before that day comes, if we let go of our foolish hankering after sense pleasures and power, position, etc., that state of detachment, vairagya, that gives fearlessness, says Bhartrhari. In this shloka it is said, taking it one notch above, in that viveka, in that vairagya, you and I get right understanding of the self, self-knowledge, self-realization dawns upon us. Nataschet, if this understanding dawns upon us, I am not this individual entity at all. I am actually Paratma. I am that spiritual truth, Para-Atma, the higher truth, which is all pervasive. Then fear comes to an end. Ending of all fear is through spiritual realization, not by amassing any amount of wealth or occupying any chair of power or gaining any amount of scholarship. Last shloka for the session. ātmā avabhāsayati eko buddhi ādīn indriyāni api dīpo ghātādivat swātmā yadaihi taihi na avabhasyate. Beautiful shlokas. They are so worth contemplating. Take one of these shlokas and meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. It's a wonderful thing to do. Like this shloka verse says, Atma is one. In you, in him, in her, and in them, and in an ant moving on the ground, an elephant walking through the jungle, in gorillas and guerrillas and chimpanzees, in snakes and scorpions, in gods, demons, everywhere, anywhere, in sinners as well as in realized saints, Atma is one only. Atma ekaha avabhasayati. Buddhi adin. The intellect in me, intellect in you, and the intellect in her, in him, in a serpent, in a scorpion, make the long list again. There is buddhi, and buddhi is illumined. Indriyas also. A snake also has eyes. We have eyes. Chimpanzees have eyes. Cockroaches have eyes. So wherever there are eyes and ears, nose and tongue, skin, various sense organs, various organs of action, they all are made active with the blessing of the ātmā, but ātmā itself does not partake of any of the strengths or shortcomings of those sense organs of action, or the mind. It's like there is a lamp inside a pot, and the light of the lamp illumines the whole inner surface of the pot. The shloka doesn't say inside or outside. You can also imagine there's a lamp on a table, and in the room there are a few pots. The lamp on the table illumines all those pots. You enter the room, you see a lamp, maybe a candle burning on the table, and you say, there is a lamp. What else is in this room? Look around, there is a pot here, there is a cat sitting upon another table, there is a child sleeping on a small bed. You see that one lamp is illumining everything. Deepaha avabhasayati. Deepo ghatadivat. The lamp illumines those objects in the room, and the ātmā illumines whatever there is. And while the lamp illumines, let's say, a few pots in the room, the pots don't illumine the lamp. Likewise, while the ātmā illumines and empowers, enables organs of action, organs of perception, mind, intellect, etc., none of them can ever illumine the ātmā. It's a one-direction affair. Avabhasayati means A lights up B. Taihi na avabhasyate, passive voice. A illumines B, but A is not illumined by B. Rama kills Ravana. Ravana does not kill Rama. Rama is not killed by Ravana. A boy beats a cat. He should not, but he beats a cat. He is not beaten by the cat. Active passive voice, well known in all languages. So, Deepaha jadan bhasayati, avabhasayati. Jadaihi Deepaha na bhasyate, na avabhasyate. So, this also is very suitable for meditation. In this meditation, this verse from Ātmā Bodha is explaining the nature of the pure self. The pure self illumines Indriyas, Manaha, etc., but it is not illumined by anyone. Otherwise, they would be on par. Ātmā illumines the mind, and mind illumines the ātmā. Then there is nothing wrong in embracing the mind and forgetting the ātmā. Because the ātmā alone is of the nature of light, and all these other are fake. They are impostors. They pretend to be source of knowledge, source of happiness, source of this or that. They are nothing. They are such useless entities. But in avidya bhumi, in the setting of spiritual ignorance, in what we call erroneous perception, alas, all of them assume importance. Those who are unfit, those who don't deserve anything, are ruling the kingdom, are in high positions. What a sad situation, what a plight. That is the plight of every one of us when we are in error. And to end this error, to bring an end to this error, is the very purpose. Asya anartasya prahanaya sarve vedantaha pravartante, says Shankaracharya, the end of his Adhyasa Bhashya. There is a fundamental error in anybody who is experiencing herself or himself as a jeeva. That fundamental error is taking oneself to be what one is not, superimposing what one is not upon what one is, taking not that to be that, or taking that to be not that. Atasmin tad buddhihi adhyasaha iti avochama. Such wonderful lines make a part of his great classic piece of commentary. Before he picks up the aphorisms of Brahma Sutras, he writes a piece which gives a foundation for understanding everything else later. That piece of commentary is called Adhyasa Bhashya because he talks about Adhyasa. Adhyasaha eva avidya, avidya eva ajnanam, says Swami Sachidanandendra Saraswati. This superimposition, this erroneous perception is the crux of the matter. Eliminate it, the job is over. So that's a different issue. So ātmā is not to be misunderstood as knowable, is the knower. And we are not to misunderstand the senses or mind to be the knower. They are actually knowable. They are actually at the most some instruments through which the real knower operates. By themselves, they don't have any status quo. They don't have any position, anything worth mentioning. They are all zero. Write 10 zeros on the blackboard in a sequence, all of them zero. But write the digit 1 at the left end. 1 followed by 10 zeros is a big number. Like that, the ātmā is like the digit 1. All others, our body, our mind, our senses, etc., our bank balance, how many people love us, how many people admire us, how many people like us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or all the places, they're all like those zeros. If we know who we are, that is what is worth mentioning. Atma Bodha is for contemplation. You want to become Atmanishta? Use Atma Bodha and move towards anchoring yourself in yourself. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.